is the Dragon Ogre Shoggoth. It's sort of like a desert theme, and he's actually converted all of the miniatures in this army to sort of be a sort of Sand Raider type setup. A lot of mounted guys. This list is mainly about the magic. He's got several wizards here. If you look at the next photo, you can see a bit more close-up detail of some of his wizards. The guy on the left is a Zenith Sorcerer on a disc. Looking at the Lion guy appears to be a BSB, and the other two guys are, I believe, either wizards or combat characters. Can't remember what's actually in his list, but pretty straightforward stuff. Magic heavy with some monsters in it, Warriors of Chaos style. Cool setup though, and cool conversions. Next looks to be Lord Fire Magnet, as Bill likes to refer to him. This is Bill's completed Dragon Lord, Vampire Lord on Dragon. Yet another Dragon in the tournament, and I didn't really get a good picture of him, so we're going to go to the next one. We can see his army overall. You've seen it in many of my battle reports. He's got some wolves, as you can see. Just typical stuff. Bill's really been enjoying the Vampire Lord on Dragon, so that's really what he stuck to, and has improved his success somewhat, and I hope his direwolves are increasing that as well. Just make sure he has to roll for his stupidity checks for his crown of whatever it is, the 4+ ward save, and that's shown on that little card, handy card in the middle of the field. Then we come to Josh's new Warriors of Chaos army, which I haven't actually had an opportunity to show you guys. He's been working hard on it, but he hasn't managed to complete it. Lots of conversions here, special bases. He actually has a unit of Forsaken in his army, a unit that you don't really get to see very often. In this next image, you see his Chaos Lord riding a dragon, which I think is a nice touch. He's used the Dark Elf dragon for that, painted it up red, and the work is coming along really nicely with it. His paint work is, top notch as normal, but he hasn't even finished it, so can't wait to see what it's like when it's completed. Then we have Anthony's army, which is not actually being played by Anthony this tournament. He's lent it to, I think, Richard, who is basically playing with his Dark Elf list. No Hydra and no Cauldron of Blood, but he has got a dragon, 2 bolt throwers, chariots, Colburn Knights, other works, so still very tough list to deal with. If you guys haven't seen a photo of this before, it's basically a Vampire Counts meets Dark Elf sort of conversion hybrid, but it's used as a Dark Elf army. Then looks like we've got some ogres. We've got plenty of them here, especially the man-eaters, which I'm going to zoom up on the next picture. I love the pirate man-eater and the guy with the treasure chest. These guys are essential for any 2250 point ogre army. You want to have those guys there for the stubborn. Really makes them worthwhile, and the flag is just awesome. Very cool stuff. Next picture shows you his Rhinox rider. You've got to download the rules if you want to learn how to play with these guys and your army, but very cool stuff. The Rhinox is just a really big beefing unit. If you give him a standard with a war banner, that's a lot of static combat res, and the Rhinox itself is really hard to move. Then we have this really beautiful Chaos Dwarfs army with a lot of lava stuff in the bases, good paint job overall, plenty of conversions. He's got the really awesome looking Earthshaker in the background there, and a Chaos Dwarf Lord on the Flying Taurus. Just gonna we're going to come to this a bit more later, because I actually played against this guy in the first round, so we'll see some better photos, but for now, wonderful looking army. Next picture features Michael's army, which I've played against several times before in tournaments, actually twice before. I lost against him once, then I beat him the second game, and here he is, Chaos Dwarves yet again. This guy has a number of different armies, but Chaos Dwarves seems to be his pick of the litter lately. Then we've got, I forget this guy's name, I think it's Mark, who has Empire. He's taken a really soft Empire list, relatively speaking, to the other lists in this tournament. So far we've seen very hard lists with lots of war machines or magic or monstrous creatures. And Mark's taken a lot of knights. He's taken a Empire Lord and a Griffin, a steam tank, and plenty of outriders. He doesn't seem to have a lot of magic, doesn't seem to have a lot of ranged firepower in terms of, war machines. I mean, Destroyer's got the tank, but no cannons. So he's really taken quite a soft list relative to everybody else. I'll say that again. The next picture will show you a bit more of what's in his army. He's got a couple of wizards there. There you go, 2 level 2s, I assume. And he's got the Lord on the General and the Griffin in the background. Cool. Next we have Brian with his really fantastically painted High Elf army. Again, this is an extremely nasty army. It's just totally optimized. You've got the elite troops, you've got the 2 units of core, 1 unit of spearmen, you've got the Dragon Princes, the Star Dragon, 2 bolt throwers. He's got the eagles somewhere else. I'm not too sure what to say, but wow, well painted. I must give him that. In fact, going to the next picture, you can just see the technical level of painting here. Really good work on the bases, and a lot of detail there, looking very crisp and nice. So kudos to him. Just an extremely tough list, and to see this list crop up yet again, like 3 Star Dragons so far, is just wow. Good luck to my Chariots trying to make it through this tournament. Next image, you've got some Beastmen here. I'm not too sure to what what level they're actually participating in the tournament. His army wasn't set up for the beauty pageant type phase of taking pictures of everybody's army, but I took a photo anyway just to show you that there was a Beastman player participating in this event. Then we come to Philip's Demons of Chaos army list, which I've taken pictures of several times before in other events. He's slowly completing them. You've got the Lord of Change / Slann Mage Priest in the middle of the battlefield, and just continuing to base them up, add highlights. This is Lizardmen converted with demons to give you a really good impression of the demons infesting and possessing the spawning pools, and for the resulting Lizardmen ending up as demons. So that's quite impressive. Next photo shows you a good lot of detail on his flamers, good level of painting, and nice colourful stuff, really pleasing to look at. Next, we have Ryan's Lizardman army. I played him first round of Fields of Blood. Just, again, a very tough army. Not much you can do about this if you have a certain type of army. It's really quite formidable. Going to the next picture, I just wanted to show you his pterodons. I think these are the latest addition to his army, and I like the character or champion or whatever he is on the pterodon with the glowing eye. Really my favourite new model in his army. In fact, probably my favourite army in Ryan's army at the moment. Favourite model in his army, and I love the look on the Pterodon rider's face, the Pterodon's face, and the Pterodon's helmet, Pterodon rider's helmet. Ugh, fumble with the words. Then we come to Dave's army. This is not actually set up for display because he knows that it's a borrowed army. A few different, lots of people's miniatures here, and some of them painted by Glenn, some of them are painted by himself, I believe. But I wanted to show you that Dave is in this tournament with a vampires army with no dragon, by the way. Next, Phil's army. You guys have seen me play against Phil many times before. He's got his army set up here. In the practice game we had for this event, he took 2 Hydras, but he's dropped that down to just 1 Hydra to make his list a bit more on target, and fair enough. Then we have Nick Irvine's Wood Elves army. On the first day of the event, we showed up at the hall and realised Nick had forgotten his army, so we lost another half hour there with me driving him back home to pick it up again, but it was worth it. His army's looking great, as usual. You guys have seen this in many reports before, so I'm just going to skip past this. And in fact, no, I'm not going to skip past this. That's the end of the first report. So on to the first game. I'm sure you guys are looking forward to it. A bit of a look at Tin Soldiers 3 and what we're up against.